It is not yet 2025 yet, so this is officially my last video for 2024 under this channel. But I think this subject I'm about to share with you is very important and very personal to me. And it's something I think that we all have to take note for those of us who may be a bit tad religious. But I would say that at the end of every year, I often pray and give thanks to the Lord above that we have survived another year. Remember, in the course of a year, lots of things happen. People pass away. People face hardships they don't expect for. You name it. And in that one constant, we all have to realize that none of us is above God. We're all human beings, and we all have the same experience. If you hear fireworks go off, that I like to celebrate early in my neighborhood, so forgive me for that. But the main part of it is that we live day by day. And in a year's time, day by day is just a struggle and a constant battle for most families who are just trying to make ends meet. That's why we always have to be thankful to the Lord above when we oftentimes face difficulties in our lives we never thought we have, or people in our lives that just pass away when we feel that is, they're important in our lives, they're meaningful for our lives. And even those individuals who are surviving, you never know. This year I've lost two people. One was a former classmate of mine in high school. The other one was someone that I would see occasionally at all the book fairs that I would be a part of, and see their face and have the smile. But all I know is that there are families who've lost a mother, husbands who lost their wives, and those of us who are friends with them lost good people. But we should always take account that when we say God is in control, He is. We may not see it at the time, but we do realize that in this moment in our lives, as we end one year and start another year, is also life, right? One life dies, another life is being born in the hospital right now, or quite simply anywhere in the world that happens to be a place where the mother is giving birth. But I want to go back to the main part of the subject, is that we have a lot of entertainers and people who feel that they're like God or at equal with God. And yet, all I can just say is that no human being is ever above God. That's the trick there that they believe they are. Of course, it's always to be spiritually minded to believe that, yes, if we live a life that is worthy of the Father's attention, yes, we can say that a person is God-like, but not exactly. Because none of us, unless we have to read the good book, understand what the power of God is. And we don't understand who God is and the power that He has until we read the book and read about the many examples in those letters and the book that form the book, the Bible, and understand that we're here because He allows us to be here. And this is the one thing, of course, I'm mentioning my strokes again, that I just thought I would not survive. I didn't know what it was going to be like for me. I mean, I made it through that one day, my first day in the hospital, but I didn't know what the rest of my stay was going to be like. But I am thankful to Him that I was able to be there, had good doctors, and made it through my ordeal. And in the last several years, we've gone through a lot, right? We've gone through the pandemic, inflation, all the little things in our lives that make it worth living through hardship. But we made it. We're right here in 2025. I hope and pray will be a good year for all of us, no matter what happens. All I can just say is that it's not a government, it's not a president, it's not a leader of a country that determines our worth. They, of course, in the physical places we live in, help determine our way of life. But really, when it really comes down to it, it's the Father. He determines our life. He determines how far we go in life. And if we do the things that are right, we'll be blessed. And all I can just say is that I've not been perfect in my life, personally. I wish I could have done more when I was got out of my stroke, or I got out of my stay at the hospital and had my recovery period. I often thought about my life. I thought about things I could have done, decisions I would have made better. But that's all part of the process of living this life. We are going to mess up. We are going to commit infractions, spiritual or otherwise, that cause us to learn, hey, we can always do better. We can always be better if we just remain humble and just understand that the Father is giving us another day to live. And we have to live that day, that one day in life that could change the rest of our life forever, or just simply just another day in which we happen to survive and make it through that time. But I'm just saying these things because I'm not saying this as an author. I'm not saying this as a teacher. I'm just saying this as a human being, a Christian, someone who has tried to live his life the best he could, or best he can, actually, and just someone who just really understands that it's not about me. It's not always about me. Whatever I do in this life is not always about me. Yes, I do have the opportunity to create something. It's like a story or a novel, and I'm able to share that with the world. But that talent wouldn't have come unless the Father gave it to me. And this is a talent that I've been blessed with, and pray that I use it for good use, personally, in my personal life. Also, in the occupation that I work, helping young people, being that ear, being that person that they always can go to when they need to talk to, or someone that gives them instruction, help them through the life in the classrooms that I've been a part of. And is that Mr. Chapman realizes Mr. Chapman can only do so much, but the rest is up to the Lord above to make sure that I'm doing the right things and staying safe and on my way to work and on my way from work, that I'm doing the best that I can. And all of you young people that have me watching this, I'm not trying to, I don't know what they say, Bible thump on you, but I'm just trying to let you know that this is reality. And part of reality is acknowledging that it's not just you. Most of the time, it's not just you. It's not about me all the time, but it's all about giving God the credit, giving God the glory in our lives, to know that, hey, we can always do better and be better. And that's all I'm just trying to share with you. I'm not perfect. Trust me, I am not a perfect person. I wish that I have done things differently, but again, that's part of life. We all make mistakes, and sometimes those mistakes are for us to learn not to make the same one over and over again. But that's life, and so we all have to live it. And the Lord keeps us in His heart, and we're in His favor, that we continue to live past 2025 and all the subsequent years on good terms and good standing with everyone around us. And I guess really that's all that needs to be said, because all I can just tell you is that, again, we live in a world right now which is just turning dark every single day. We live in a time where people just feel like anything goes, and unfortunately, we're experiencing that right now. All the goodwill, the great men who have been part of our lives don't seem to matter much now, because all of us just are going a different direction. That direction is going to lead to our downfall. So it's important to realize it's not about us. It's not about us. It's about Him. And as long as we are able to give Him the praise, the honor, and the glory, we will do just fine. And also do remain humble. Always remain humble. Always realize again that we can only do so much, but it's really up to Him. So I guess that's my message for 2025. And just remember who keeps us alive every single day, who gives us good people, who brings us in the presence of good people and good hearts in our lives, and experiences that help us grow and shape our very lives as well. So I guess that's all I need to say, and that is probably my closing video essay of 2024, in the hopes that 2025 will be a good year. And again, we always have to keep Him first no matter what in our lives, realizing that our lives are not meant to be long. We're not meant to have these long lives. If we do, that's great. But again, I've lost 2 people close to me this year, and I've lost one of my good friends 3 years ago through the same illness of a stroke. And I lost so many people in my life, and every time I walk the streets, or I used to talk to them, we used to have great conversations. Even in the porch of my house, when we had our conversations, me and my friend who passed away, it just made me realize I'm just very glad that I was able to share that time with them, because I made it through my strokes and had a conversation with my friend who unfortunately passed away. But it was his time, I believe, and as long as we're here, God gives us the time to make things right with other people, even the people that we have wronged or people that wronged us. All I can just say is that, very grateful. So we may have an hour or 2 hours left in 2024, wherever you may be, but as far as my own endeavors as an author, please continue to support me. Please continue to support this channel. I hope that in the next year I will continue to bring content that will be uplifting and somewhat introspective, but at the same time I'm going to just say what I feel, what's on my mind, and especially in this subject. But I really hope all of you are doing well. Thank you so much for your support, for those of you who followed this channel for who knows how long. But I want to wish you all the best in 2025. You deserve it. And always remember, wherever you're watching this, whether it be day, night, week, whatever, I want to wish you all the best, and keep God in your heart, and always take care.